Hi guys, and welcome back to another muscle up video. But first of all, I just want to thank Dennis for buying me a coffee. Thank you so much, Dennis. I really appreciate you. And also thanks to everyone that supported my channel over the years. And if you also want to support my channel, you can always buy me a coffee. I'll leave a link to my buy me a coffee page in the description below. So this week's question is from Komisarki. Thank you for that great advice. Would you say that ring muscle ups are easier according to the right technique compared to bar muscle ups, but maybe a little bit more challenging in strength? And I would also recommend you downloading my muscle up technique checklist. It's totally free. I made a structured list of all my muscle up tips that you can look at before every muscle up workout. And this will really help you remember every technique cue before your muscle up workouts, so you don't lose time and energy on doing the wrong things. So it's completely free and you can download it in the description below. All right, so let's compare the ring muscle up to the bar muscle up. So when you're doing the ring muscle up, first of all, you'll notice the grip right here. So you have to have a more overhand grip, which requires more forearm strength. So I would say that part is a little bit harder before you get used to it. Then as you can see here, he's pulling to his upper chest. You can see that his thumbs are about upper chest level. So that is what, in my opinion, makes the ring muscle up a little bit easier, because you don't have to pull as high. If you would compare this to the bar muscle up, if you were to pull to this height, as you can see here, you wouldn't make it. So for the ring muscle up, you need very little explosive strength. And that is why the bar muscle up, it is much harder when it comes to the pull, because you have to pull a lot higher to get over the bar. So as you can see here, he's pulling to upper middle chest, and then he's throwing his chest over the rings. So I would say the transition is a little bit harder with rings because it requires a lot more shoulder mobility. As you can see here, he's beyond 90 degrees. And if you have stiff shoulders or not enough shoulder mobility, this can be very hard. And in some cases, you can be prone to injury in this position. But if you have good shoulder mobility, I would say ring muscle ups are much, much easier. And then from here, you can just push up into the dip. So let's compare this to the bar muscle up. So as I said, with the ring muscle up, you just have to pull to middle chest. Comparing this to the bar muscle up, you have to pull to around here, like lower chest, I would say somewhere between the chest and the belly button to get over the bar. And as we can see here in the transition, when I'm in the dip position, my shoulders are 90 degrees. So this means the pull needs to be a lot higher than when comparing to rings. As you can see here in his dip position, it's much lower than 90 degrees. His elbows are pointing upwards. Comparing to mine in the dip position is about 90 degrees. So you have to pull a lot higher to complete the bar muscle up. But the question is, how much higher? How high do you have to pull for the bar muscle up? So what I did is that I tried to pull as high as I can, as explosively as I could. And I reached about, I would say this is between my belly button and lower chest area. This is the highest that I can pull. So this is all you need to do for the bar muscle up. So if you can pull up and touch the bar between the lower chest and your belly button, you're good. If you find that you can do that, but not being able to do the muscle up, it's all about technique. But if you can't pull to about here, you have to work on your explosive strength. And the best way to work on your explosive strength is by doing weighted explosive pull-ups with the muscle up technique. So here I'm doing so-called pin pull-ups. I'm resetting after every rep, and I'm pulling as high as I can. So this is, for me, the best way to increase your explosiveness for the explosive pull-up and muscle up. So let's say you tried the explosive pull-up and you could actually pull to where I'm pulling, but you can't do the muscle up yet. What's the next step? The next step is to understand the muscle up technique, because in this case, if you have the high pull, it's all about technique. So the most important technique part is the timing. So you don't want to be pulling too early. That's the first thing. You want to wait a little bit before initiating the pull. And after you start pulling, you want to initiate the row part of the muscle up about here. So it's all about timing here as well. You want to be pulling as high as you can. And when you are about here, you want to row the bar towards you and throwing the chest over the bar as fast and as aggressively as possible. The high pull and the row. High pull and the row. And that is the transition. And the best way to practice that is by using resistance bands. These are great for practicing your technique. So get into your resistance band, initiate the pull and the row. And you want that to be, 100% before moving on to lighter bands and then eventually the body weight muscle up. So the pull and the row. And that's it. So to answer your question, Komisarki, I would say the bar muscle up is harder because it requires more explosive strength. And here we have Dennis that also bought me a coffee and he sent me his muscle up attempt. So let's see if I can help him a little bit with the technique. So you're very, very close to the body weight muscle up. I don't know your internal cues when you're doing the muscle up, but let's go through your technique from the beginning and let's see if we can find some helpful tips for you. So you're using a small swing forward. This is great. Maybe you can wait a little bit longer before pulling up. So as we can see here, we want to reach the top position of the swing and then wait a little bit before pulling up. You are pulling up a little bit too early before reaching the top of the swing. So you're starting to pull up here. And when you're pulling up a little bit too early, it's going to be harder to get the chest over the bar. So I would recommend pulling a little bit later in the swing. And that will also set you up for a better row position. So pulling up, and then when you are about here, you want to row the bar aggressively towards you, and you want to keep rowing the bar towards you until you are over the bar. So you don't want to lose tension anywhere from here to here. And at the same time, you also want to aggressively throw the chest over the bar because I think you have very good height. You should be able to get over the bar and stay there with these small technique adjustments. So just pulling a little bit later in the swing, and then from here start to row the bar towards you and also throwing the chest over the bar. Please try that out and send me a new video if you want to. And I hope these tips helps. And as I spoke to before, we need to do our explosive weighted pull-ups to get the strength for the muscle up. So we want to increase month by month the weight to really get those fast twitch muscle fibers to recruit. And as you can see here, I'm touching the bar on my chest in each and every repetition. And I'm doing about 5 to 8 repetitions for 3 sets. That's it. And I'm doing this once per week and the muscle up workout once per week. That's enough, I think. And I also offer muscle up coaching if you want more personalized muscle up tips. If you are interested in that, you can email me. My email is in the description below and we'll just take it from there. And please feel free to ask me any muscle up related questions in the comments below and I'll try to answer them in the next video. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow and I'll see you in the next one.